Thank you, Mr Deputy President. This bill deals with very important subject matter, some of the most important subject matter that we will deal with in this place. It deals with safety and the safety of people, principally women, fleeing or caught up in violent relationships. And the reforms that it introduces, to the extent that they improve the safety of women, are very welcome. However, this is a fundamentally disappointing bill. It is disappointing in its limited vision and in its limited scope, and in the fact that it represents a completely siloed approach to reform in this area. This bill, as the long title tells us, implements the results of a statutory review of the provisions of the Residential Tenancies Act. And it is good in as far as it goes, but it simply does not go far enough. This is a wasted opportunity. This was an opportunity to look holistically at the safety of victim survivors of domestic violence, and it has failed to do this. In particular, it has spectacularly failed to address the High Court decision of May 2023 in BA and the King. When this bill was available, having heard the Attorney-General at estimates after estimates after estimates tell us that legislation was imminent, I turned through every page thinking, surely this is where it will be. But yet again, disappointed that this government is failing to address this issue. In May 2023, well over 2 years ago now, the High Court made it clear that, in fact, they invited this government to reform the law of trespass in this state. They pointed to the fact that every other state in the ACT had managed to do it. The government apparently didn't want to accept that invitation, so we produced our own bill, the Crimes Amendment Breaking and Entering Bill of 2023. Which the government declined to support, and then promised that they would introduce their own reforms. And why are these reforms important? Because the way our law still stands, even after this bill is passed, if a couple have been living together and if they both have their names on the lease, which is a perfectly standard arrangement, and if that relationship breaks down, and if one party leaves the previously shared home, as was the case in BA and the King, keys on the table, stuff in the car, off he went. And then 3 weeks later, he came back. Let me in. And the partner said, no, I don't want to let you in. He kicked the door down. And the High Court said, that's not trespass, because he still had a right to enter. Now, this bill allows victims of domestic violence to change the locks. That's great. But how much use is it if you can change the locks if someone can still come and kick the door in? It does not address the situation that we have pointed to again and again and again. And it is very disappointing that again, when this government had the opportunity to really address this issue of safety to women, using the blueprint we provided, or using the blueprint that Victoria used, or Queensland, or Tasmania, or Western Australia, or South Australia, or the ACT, this issue could have been addressed for the protection of women and greater safety, to send a powerful message that once you have left, you are not coming back. And so, while absolutely everything in this bill should be supported, this represents a half-done job, and it is very disappointing that this government will not look seriously and holistically at all the issues to do with the safety of women.